compare this Kyrie Irving and the Boston Celtics to Reggie Miller and the New York Knicks. Because, boy, that game one, Kyrie was flipping off fans and telling them to, SMD. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Hey,
But
I ain't gonna lie, man. This it's tough.
But I'm gonna start it off, man. I didn't like the way the NBA fined him though, because
They
they ain't
have
doing
to,
nothing but
though.
giving.
They had to.
I
They
hear
had
you.
to.
I hear you. But you, come on, bro. Them fans be outrageous. Some of the stuff they be doing and saying be crazy. And I think, and I say any player, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Arabian, it's certain stuff. It's like, bro, I gotta say something. I gotta say something or do something. You ain't gonna be keep talking to me crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, and we're seeing like a lot more now with fans and other players paying each other's fines, like especially when they're making that kind of money. This is what we want to see, right? I don't want to see Jordan Poole getting fined, right? But I want to see Steph Curry open his mouth and say, right, in defense of Jordan Poole. Let's say someone yells something at Jordan Poole on the way down the court. I want to see Steph Curry come back down and be like, you know what, I'm gonna eat this fine and say it back, say something back in his defense or something. And not just defend himself, right? Defend other players on your team. That's what this is what we want to see. I mean, obviously I love Kyrie. I defend him all the time, but like this is what I love about Kyrie is he's not going to go over to security. No offense to you Bron fans, but he's not going to go over to security and be like point a guy out and be like, "Hey, kick him out." I don't like that. I'm not here for that. Nah, man.
I mean, look, but low key though, that might be the better option. I mean, because you can't say on one hand, no wait, because you just said he can't do it. So if I can't do it, I'm gonna get your ass out of here. That's what.
Yeah, but
I feel like that's a lot more power to have, just to be able to have the ability to be like, "Hey, bro, get your ass up out of here, man." Like
we're talking about people who are paying to be there, as compared to you're getting.
I get that.
You don't just talk crazy to people.
I was just about to say, just because you paying to be there, that don't give you the right.
I disagree.
I
disagree. Okay, now there are lines. There are certain lines. I'll give you that. But I'm saying like.
But the fans cross them all the time. That's what I'm
If
saying.
they're just yelling obscenities and stuff like that, like whatever, that's fair. I mean, like I feel like that's all fair game. There's a reason fans is short for fanatics, man. These people care deeply about
how. Wait. How is it fair game though?
How is it that they care about the game if they're telling me like, hey, your mom needs to go to hell? What the hell do my mom got to do with this game? I'm not saying that's not what they're saying, but I'm just saying, like,
personal. They don't actually believe in their heart that your mom needs to go.
But why say it?
Why say it though?
Because they're trying to get in your head to mess you up. The same reason they bang things behind the free throw line. Everything is
that is completely different. That is completely. If you banging something on the drum, that's fine. I don't care about that. But if you
but I'm saying everything a fan does.
We had this discussion before on one of these episodes. If you cross that line and saying something about my family, we have an issue. Flat out. I'm sorry.
But this is what I'm saying. Everything a fan does is to get in your head to throw you off your game. And if at some point, if you're cooking them, they feel like they have to step the level up to get in your head even more.
He wasn't doing nothing at the time. He ain't started scoring until the fourth quarter.
If you know what the players were saying to each other, it's worse than what the fans are saying.
But I don't give you the right to say it just because him and another guy's going back and forth.
What do you mean? Everyone has the right to say what they want to say.
You don't have the right to say. No, you don't.
Until the NBA actually says, "All right, here's the list."
John, hold on. But not this word. No damn list.
That's what I'm saying. So until that happens, everyone does have the right to say.
Even if they come out with one, it still ain't gonna mean nothing.
Well, because then the NBA has the right. I just don't like players having fans kicked out. Like, I feel like if the NBA takes a stance and says that guy's got to go, they got to go. But like, I like seeing my players like Kyrie, and this is what I like about Kyrie is almost everything he does. He handles it himself, and and by the way, that's why fans love Kyrie still. Like,
we get that, but okay, it's only you keep handling it yourself. You're gonna keep coming money out your pocket, though. I mean, regardless, I understand that you got bread, but at the end of the day, 25, 50,000, 100,000, that shit gonna add up.
Right, but you listen to the old school players and guys like Kyrie and stuff. They talk about they love that stuff. He says, bring it, bring
You
more.
can love it and be able to say something back. What are you
I just
talking
feel
about?
like we've gotten a little too soft, man.
It's
Like
not
you know,
about being,
If
it's
I'm
not about being
retaliating?
soft, bro. It's about a line
if
being
they
crossed,
show up,
man.
if they show up to my house, all right, fine, they've crossed the line. You know what I mean?
Bro.
But if they're yelling stupidity from the stands, trying to throw me off my game,
Okay,
that's part of the game. It's part of the game, man.
I'm just no, it's not part of the game because only the reason I'm saying that because if you take it back in the day, let's bring Boston fans. Okay, let's bring it to the Boston fans. I'm not sure if y'all a fan of HBO Max, the winning time right now, bro. Bill Russell brought them 11 rings, and they still hated that man, bro. How? How can you still hate somebody that brought you 11 rings to your city? I'm just saying though, but my point is, it's just the fact that it's a line that you can't cross. They was pretty much calling him the N-word, all that type of stuff, bro. Like stuff like that, you cannot say to
First off, we are talking about a select group of people. The people in Boston love Bill Russell. Like majority love Bill Russell. They talk admiringly of Bill Russell a ton, right? So I agree. There is a select group of people who always take things too far and whatever. But those aren't even. First off, I'd like to see those people at actual games because I don't even think they're NBA fans, right? If you're that racist, you're probably not even going to NBA or something. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to most people at these games that are yelling stuff are not yelling horrible things, right? If Kyrie had said they were saying some crazy things, he's definitely like calling that out. But like, no, you know what? The guy said this. But when Kyrie says, I want more of that, I have a feeling these people are just yelling stupidity. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with yelling stupidity and saying your mom. If they start invoking your mom's name and stuff, maybe I could see that going too far or something. But just yelling vague, like your mom, come on, man. That's like the office jokes, man. Like that's like, that's what she said or whatever the joke. Like it's not actually invoking somebody in your family's name.
I get that, but he's saying, yeah, he's going to bring all the same energy. But I think they must have said something towards he had to address it though. You know what I'm saying? My thing regardless, like you still flicking them off and you telling somebody to S my D, I'm sure that's some harsh words. I'm just saying.
It's not though. It's not. It's really not.
Wait.
You telling you don't want to go fight him right now.
I'm gonna end it in this one question. If it's not that bad, why did they find him?
There it is, right there.
Because the NBA has to find the players, right? Because
why?
Because they have a certain name to keep, right? Whereas, like, we hold ourselves to some high standard. But I mean, let's be honest. That's just part of the game. Like if you say these things, if you call out a referee after the game, you get fined. I think that's completely worse. I think you should be allowed to say, "Man, the referees screwed up my game. Like he threw."
Both are bad. I think both.
They let you get away with it depending on what you say.
I don't know. Because a referee, you're talking about actually costing people millions and millions of dollars because of a bad call. Whereas a fan, he's just, saying stupidity. He's not, so I think there's actually like financial ramifications. Whereas, we're talking about people's feelings getting hurt. I'm not with that. I love it when Kyrie responds like this. I like it when the rich guys eat these fines. And by the way, this is why we just talked about an NHL player. Like the fans sent him money to pay his fine for something because he said or did something in a game. He finally responded to something, and like that's what we're seeing is like these fines are a joke. Now when we see Joel Embiid pay the guys on his team's fines who don't make as much as him, like that's what we want to see because we want to tell the NBA like these fines are jokes, like no one actually cares. And we're here for it. We love it. So
pretty much John said he want to go back to the old school days. Like if it wasn't no blood, no foul. You feel me?
No, I think if you get personal, we can talk about that. You know what I mean? If I start calling out Walt, whatever, people in his family's name and stuff like that. I think we can talk about that.
They do that too. What are you
but
talking
just
about?
saying your mom, come on, man.
I'm not just saying like your mom like that. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure they're saying a lot more extreme stuff than just, oh, your mom's fat or something like that. I'm sure there's a lot more behind whatever the guy was saying.
Matter
to
of fact,
have Kyrie.
I'm gonna send y'all a video later. It was a lady in Golden State that it was after the game. She says, LeBron, how does it feel to be a punk AB?
I heard that. And when he was walking back to the
locker room. Well, okay, but we just talked about Bill Russell, right? And when you listen to Shaq and Chuck talk, right? They went through way worse stuff than these guys nowadays.
A punk AB? What are you talking about?
Bill Russell heard way worse things than that.
He did.
I'm sure he did.
Wait. Just because he heard it back then, don't mean these players don't hear the same.
No, he said he's probably heard worse than that. But there's a lot more.
Bill Russell got it worse. That's not even a question.
I don't think
the things Dr. J was
hearing that though.
No, the things Dr. J was hearing when he was
all right. So imagine LeBron in Miami. What them Boston fans were saying to LeBron.
I'm sorry, there are not hundreds of people yelling the things that they were saying to Dr. J back in the day. Like we're talking about.
You don't know that?
No, we're talking about the fans were like, get him off our team. We don't want to, like, you know what I mean? We're talking about like the own team. Like it's not like the other team was just talking garbage. Like his own team was like, we'd rather lose than have this guy, right? Like there's no way LeBron's hearing that kind of stuff at the levels that those guys were hearing back then. It's not even close. So the point is, like, I'm just saying is like, I like what Chuck and Shaq were saying this week was like, you know how you shut them up is you go and beat them. You go and send them home. You send them home. And I understand you can't do that every time. Even Shaq and Chuck didn't win. Chuck never won. So I get that, right? But for me, like, there's a certain level of fan where, yeah, you have to actually escort them out of the building and say you're not allowed back. But just talking garbage, man, like, even him saying S my D and all that stuff, like, that's just, come on, man. I know for a fact these guys are talking way worse than that to each other on the court.
I can't even disagree with that. I mean, he definitely is probably right, especially with the Dr. J stuff. I'm sure Dr. J's have heard, Dr. J's and Bill Russell have heard a lot worse than what these people are hearing now. Not saying that LeBron is probably not hearing it, but he didn't probably hear it as much as Bill Russell and Dr. J had to, though. But I'm sure there are still people that, are still doing, the same things that from back in the day now, but just not as bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, with a certain level of fame, you're going to run into more people who hate you, right? So they'll hire. So LeBron will probably face more hate than anyone, we ever, whatever, anyone else at this time. So I'm not saying LeBron doesn't face it, but at the same time, LeBron gets the different levels too. The percentage of love to hate he gets is astronomical compared to what Dr. J was getting in his day. This is what I'm trying to say and so I love to hear the old guys say, listen, I go do what I do best, and that's how I prove them wrong. I don't, and by the way, I don't mind if they vocally respond to this stuff, right? I too. And sometimes I even love the Malice at the Palace. I like it when, hey, man, you know what? We're done with you throwing cups, like, right? Because that's physical assault. Now we're talking about physical assault. So let's match,
We definitely don't want no Palace, no battle at the Palace no more.
Right, but I don't think if people say something, you can go smack them. But I think once they cross that line of touching you, and then of course, like I said, man, yeah, you start invoking names and using actual personal, things. Yeah, then that's when the NBA has to step in, and if they don't, then that's on them. Right? But hey, I don't know, man. I love it. I love this thing with Kyrie.
Kyrie, if you ever see this, keep doing what you're doing.
SMB. Yeah, but like John said, ball out there.
SMB.
Ball out there. Send them home. Send Boston home, but it don't look like it right now because it's a 1-point game.
Wow, and by the way, actually, who around the country likes Boston fans? Like this is the thing too, is everyone else hates them too, right? They're getting way more hate. So you know what? If they want to act the fools, listen, we're gonna call them out.
I think all Boston, Massachusetts teams in general, honestly, because you've heard A lot of Reds, a lot of them people, a lot of these players, black, Dominican, Cuban, when they go to the Red Sox stadium, they've heard some crazy stuff when they in the outfield or they at bat. So it might just be a Boston thing. I don't know, but
I'm sure it's not just Boston though. I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere, but I mean, I'm
no,
pretty
but
sure.
you don't hear people
say
complaining
Boston and
about
Utah
other
are
places
quite.
like Boston though.
They say Boston and Utah are quite bad still.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I've heard about Utah. Yeah,
I've
they say
definitely heard
Utah
about it.
is outrageous.